How appropriate. I filmed this review when it is literally going to start storming here in a little bit, so I'll try and make this quick because I don't know if death is going to smite me with a lightning bolt, but I'm inside my car. I should be good. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and I never thought I would actually be able to say these words, but I'm reviewing a brand new Final Destination movie. Yes, I'm talking about Final Destination Bloodlines. Um, this one stars Caitlin Santa Juana, Owen Dyer, Diner. I may be butchering his last name. Sorry about that. Tio Briones, Breck Bassinger, and the legendary Tony Todd as Bloodworth, coming back for Bloodworth, and I believe his last on-screen performance before he passed away. So, and it was also really nice to see in loving memory of Tony Todd at the end of the credits. So that was really awesome. So, stop me if you've heard this before about a Final Destination movie, but someone gets a premonition about how a lot of people are going to die, and they stop that from happening, and so death comes back to kill them one by one until they're all dead. That sound familiar? Well, here is the twist. That premonition happened to someone in the 50s, and they were able to survive for a very long time. And eventually, they have kids and grandkids, and a whole lineage is created that was never meant to be created. So, Death has a long list to make his way through. And can our protagonists survive long enough in order to stop death from taking them? Well, you have to go see the movie to find out. I love the Final Destination franchise. This and Saw are the only two franchises that I have completely watched all the way through as a relative newbie to horror. My rankings for the Final Destination movies are 4, 5, 3, 1, and 2. Yes, 2 is my favorite of the Final Destination movies because what I really liked about 2 was it tied in from the story of 1. Spoilers for how everyone is kind of tied together in 2, but each of the people that survived the freeway accident are coincidentally tied to someone who was in Final Destination 1. And so I just found that really, really cool. And Guy Busick and I believe the other person's name was Lori. Lori Taylor, I believe is her name. They came up with an amazing script for this movie that, funny enough, actually references Final Destination 2 quite a bit, and that made me smile from ear to ear, knowing that, like, yes, they're referencing Final Destination 2, and I was so happy that they did. Adam Stein and I believe Lippo. I can't remember the second guy's name. Unfortunately, I'm sorry about that. I think they did a really good job of directing this, especially with what I like to call the Rube Goldberg deaths in the franchise. I think they did a really good job of shooting all of that, showing all of the buildup and all of like the things that fall into the right place at the right time to cause the deaths to happen. And the deaths are really, really gory. My assumption is that it was probably a combination of practical and CG stuff. Like I could tell like when some stuff is like, you know, practical, but it's augmented with CG. And Final Destination 3, I think, started that, where it's like, you know, practical mixed with, well, like Final Destination 2 also had a bit of like, you know, practical and CG mixed in together. But like 3, it was when like more CG was starting to like come in. Um, and, you know, that's when I think they fully went to CG for like 4 and 5, even though I think 5 may have also had some practical stuff. But here it almost looked like 50-50 in terms of like practical bits mixed with like CG stuff. And I gotta shout him out, Craig Perry, the guy that has been with the franchise since the very beginning, always finding new ways to horribly kill everybody on screen, and it was absolutely amazing to see. Um, Without getting into spoilers, my favorite death in the movie takes place in a hospital, and that is all I'm going to say about that. It takes place in a hospital. So, again, all I'm going to say. And, ooh, is real bad. This is also, I think, the first time a Final Destination movie has a fake out Rube Goldberg death, um, which I found to be very interesting. It's like, huh, all right, that's a first time. I'm like, I'm actually surprised that they it took like this long to like uh, do that. Um, I found that to be very interesting. The cast, I think, did a really good job. Like, of course, some people believe um, Caitlin Santa Juana's character, Stephanie. There we go. Some believe her and some don't. And then once, you know, stuff starts happening in the movie, like more and more people get on board. Um, and the way that the film ends, I love how it ends because it is a callback to two of the movies in the franchises, Final Destination 3 and Final Destination 2. I'm not going to go any further into that because I want it to be fresh for everybody. But just know it references Final Destination 3 and Final Destination 2. In terms of where I would put this in the franchise, death wise, I think it's the best one in the franchise. But I think 2 still has it beat in my opinion. It's a close second, but that I just really like 2 and the way that they're able to weave the story from 1 to 2. I really like that. This one does it with like all of the movies in the franchise, which I can respect. Um, but there's just something about 2 that just makes it a little bit more. Not to say that this isn't a good film. This is an awesome Final Destination film and an absolute return to form for the franchise. So yeah, if you guys have time to go check this out, I highly recommend that you guys check this out. The deaths are awesome. The characters are really, really good. Stories are also really, really good. Um, yeah, this is just a really good, fun time at the theater. So yeah, that is my review for Final Destination Bloodlines. Be safe out there, and remember, Death is always lurking around every corner. You just never know when he's going to strike. And I'll catch you guys later.